Hello and welcome to this 10-minute video on gratitude and joy. This is part of our Caring for Yourself series of short videos, so welcome and thank you for joining us. A quick hello from us. We are from Team Boo and we support organisations to be the happiest and healthiest they can be, and we do this through three main initiatives: through leadership, through coaching and through well-being. We're here today thinking about gratitude and joy and where this fits in with caring for ourselves. Whenever we're talking about well-being, we always introduce our well-being grid. If you'd like to know a little bit more about this, I'd really recommend watching the Properly Selfish video. But just as a brief overview, when we're thinking about how we are, when we're thinking about how do we notice how we're doing, a really good place to start is by looking at this well-being grid. So at the top we've got high energy, at the bottom we've got low energy, on one side we've got positive energy and on the other we've got negative. In our performance space, this is where we've got positive and high energy. This is a lovely space to be in, and we often find in this space that we're really creative, we are quite focused, we're able to concentrate on what we're doing, we're able to get through things, we're very efficient. We're very confident in this space, and it also leaks out of us. Other people will notice when we're in this space. When we're thinking about gratitude and joy, we're more likely when we're in this space to be noticing the good things around us and for being grateful for the things that we have in our lives. It's such a lovely space to be. We want to be in this space all the time through whatever we do, but we are only human beings and we only have a limited amount of energy. Often what happens in our performance space is that we take on loads because we're feeling really great, because we're feeling really confident, we take on a lot more, and we might end up in this space that we call stress. Now, this is where we've still got that high energy, but we're starting to maybe feel a little bit more negative around things. It might be that we're feeling overwhelmed, maybe we're feeling a lot of pressure. We might not be able to see the wood through the trees. We might not know where to start with all of the things that we've got on our list to do. And it's a really tricky place to be in. Within this space, we might also be feeling stress. So when we've got stress in our environment, it triggers a hormone called cortisol in our body. And this is why we feel stress. So we might notice that we don't sleep very well, or we might notice that we get tummy aches or tension headaches, or our body doesn't feel quite as well. And that's because we've got this hormone called cortisol rushing through our system. When it comes to gratitude and joy, when we're in this stress space, it will be really tricky to notice the things that we're really grateful for. It'll be really tricky to see the good in the everyday because we're probably going to be focused on the things that are causing us stress and the things that are making us feel that stress. If we are in this space for too long, we might end up in what we call burnout, which is where we've got the negative energy, but this has now moved to low energy. So we haven't got a lot of energy to give in any kind of shape in our life, at home, at work, and we will really need some support in this space, whether it's through medication, whether it's through talking therapies, but it absolutely will be through rest and renewal. It will be really tricky in this space to be able to think of the things we're grateful for, and it will be really tricky to find joy in life in this space. So our last space here is our renewal space, and this space is where we do lovely activities that help us to be in that performance space. If we're in that stress space, our renewal activities will help bring us back into that performance space or will protect us from going into that burnout space. As I said, we go into this in loads more detail in Properly Selfish, but one of the activities that can be a renewal activity for us is by practicing gratitude and bringing joy into our lives, and that's the area that we're going to focus on today. We talk in Properly Selfish about how we can bring micro renewals into our everyday, so even into our working day, things that we can do alongside the day and don't take up a lot of time. And as I said, one of those is by practicing gratitude, and we're going to talk through some of those lovely micro renewals around gratitude that we can practice every day. So, what do we mean by gratitude and joy? The definition of gratitude is the quality of being thankful, taking the time to actively appreciate what brings us joy. As we can see on the screen at the moment, every day may not be good, but there is always something good in every day, and it's looking out for that. We can easily go through our lives, our days, our weeks, maybe even months, without even noticing the things that we appreciate in life. So it's the practice of finding things that we're grateful for every day. And the more that we practice this, the easier it's going to be and the more things we'll find to be grateful for. There's been so much research done on this area, looking at long-term studies, short-term studies, across all different types of opportunities and specialities. And some of the impacts that we've seen of practicing gratitude have been things like getting better quality sleep. The more we're grateful and thankful for things, the less we're worrying and reminiscing over things. We get a reduction in the number of negative emotions we feel because our brain becomes a little bit more in tune to looking for the positives. We feel a bit more connected and we feel happier and feel more positive emotions because we're exploring and celebrating those. We often have more motivation to take care of ourselves, maybe through exercise or through nutrition, again because we're thinking about the things that bring us that joy. They even found that people that practice gratitude feel less pain, and they often experience having lower blood pressure. It also supports a stronger immune system and helps people to feel more lively. So where do all these positive impacts come from? Here's some of the science behind it. So when the brain feels gratitude, there are certain areas of the brain that are activated, and all of these areas are responsible for some of our emotional experiences. Some of these feelings like reward, morality, interpersonal bonding, positive social reactions, being able to understand what other people are thinking and feeling. And not only does it have the impact to change parts of our brain, it also changes the chemicals, the neurochemicals that we experience in our brain. And what practicing gratitude can do is it can increase some of the important neurochemicals. So we have a surge of feel-good chemicals such as dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. And these will contribute to us feeling close to other people, getting connection with other people, and feeling happiness as well. So there's a real science behind why we should practice gratitude. So how do we start practicing gratitude? One of the ways to think about practicing gratitude is to think about different categories. It's sometimes hard when you're just faced with practice gratitude. It's a bit difficult to know where to start sometimes. So we thought we'd give you a couple of categories to think of. Think about the people in your life. These might not be the people that you're closest to. Maybe it's a stranger that smiled at you in the street. Think about the places. Maybe this is your home. Maybe it's somewhere that feels safe. Maybe it's somewhere you've been and that feels like a lovely treat. And maybe think about those experiences. So what are some of those wonderful memories that you have that when you bring them to mind, they make you smile? A few other ways of practicing gratitude. Journaling is a great one. Just every day, or as often as you can, writing down 3 things that you're grateful for, 3 things that made you smile. I just often write down 3 things that made me smile, and it often ends up being things like eating pizza, because I love pizza, watching my cat do something cute, or seeing a friend that I haven't seen in ages. You can also use a gratitude jar whereby every whatever time period you want, so maybe it's every week, maybe every month, you write down some things that have made you smile and you pop them in your jar. At the end of a time period, so let's say at the end of a month or at the end of the year, you can bring that out and you can look at all of those lovely things that have happened. Maybe try this with your family over a year and open it on New Year's Eve. Maybe it'll be with your team at work and you can write thank you notes to each other for the things that you're grateful for from each other. You can also use a gratitude stone. This can be any type of stone. We've got a little glass bead in the picture. But the idea of this is to have it somewhere where you see it regularly or you touch it regularly. Maybe you'll pop it on the dashboard of your car. Maybe it'll live next to your laptop, or maybe it'll live in your pocket of something that you wear at work. And the idea is that every time you see this or you touch it, you bring to mind one thing that makes you smile or one thing that you are grateful for. Other ideas here are having a GOB file. This stands for Glimpses of Brilliance, and it's putting in all of those lovely emails where you've had somebody say thank you or given you some feedback. And if you're having a day where you can't think of something to be grateful for, you can go to that inbox and look at all the lovely things that people have said. Maybe even having a visual note board of places that you love, of quotes that you like, all of those things that make you smile, and it gives you that instant hit when you see it. Okay, so just a really quick reminder of what we've been through today. Find a few minutes to practice every day. Build this into a habit. Try noting down 3 good things every day. Maybe it's in a notebook, maybe it's on your phone, maybe you'll even take pictures of things. Build an evidence wall or a GOB file so that you've got something there if you're running out of time or you're struggling. Try out a family or a team gratitude jar, and try out a gratitude stone or keep it in your pocket. Most of all, be kind to yourself. Another little tip if you're struggling with where to start, Action for Happiness provide calendars every month with one small tip to give you an idea of something that you can do that day. Here's also a couple of apps to get you started, which have some lovely guided mindfulness, guided breathing, guided meditation, and also provide a list of support services near you. So take a moment today and think about what one small thing you can do to prioritize your well-being today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do be our friend on the social media handles below. I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.